What's going on, guys? This is Jay, and today is Wednesday, June 3rd of 2020. We're going to our field to do some work today, and I can barely contain the excitement because we're getting ready to put in the fifth plot, which is our squashes and cucumbers. It's going to be exciting this year. But the first thing that we have on the agenda today is to check on our beans. So I'm going to get out here and check on the beans. And as of right now, no beans have popped up yet. But they will be up in the next few days. I am confident of that. We're checking on the brassicas. All of them are looking good. And now it's time to get out in plot 5, where we're going to be adding trellis fence to the post that I put in yesterday. That way we can trellis the cucumbers this year, keep them off the ground, save some space in here. So it's going to be exciting. What I'm doing here, I'm cutting some pieces of 9-gauge wire. That way I can wire this fence to these green T-posts. And I just cut 3 strips of number 9-gauge wire, about 9 to 10 inches long each. And now we're going to straighten out the fence and roll it out along the ground in front of the posts. It makes it a lot easier for unraveling the fence. If I would have known that, that's how I would have started out instead of fighting with it. But you learn, you live, and you learn, and you learn, and you live, and you live, and you learn. So now we're putting up the fence, and it'll be up in no time. And look at Felicia there pulling on the fence. She's my helpy helperton. Yes, sir, my helpy helperton, Felicia. One thing that I found when cultivating vegetables or cultivating anything or planting a garden, you're really cultivating yourself. You're cultivating a human. You're learning how to grow things and appreciate subtle differences. These plants are growing every day. I'm growing every day as a person. I'm learning new things every day. It's constant knowledge. Some of it comes in the form of experience. Some of it comes in the form of books. But one of the best teachers that I have found is experience. And I remember the first year I planted this field, I felt a lot of struggle and a lot of hardship with doing this. My health wasn't in the best state, for one thing, and it always gets easier as you learn and you go on, but you don't really appreciate the entire thing until you've had to suffer and struggle a little bit. And after you struggled with doing the task the hard way, you really appreciate as it gets easier. Sometimes it's hard lessons to learn and to deal with, but you grow into it and you really enjoy the process. I've come personally to enjoy the entire process. So that's pretty exciting that I get to do this again. And I think we're at the end now. We're going to put in the last post for the cucumber trellis before we call lunch break. And we are finished. Look at that. It's time to celebrate with our dance. And now lunch break. I thought about editing lunch break out of these videos, but I think it really adds a personal effect. And I'm trying to capture all of the detail of our day as possible. I think it really adds to the video. It adds content, and it gives a continuous stream of what we go through the day, even with taking breaks and eating lunch and just simple things like that. Humanity. It lets you see the humanity in the video, because it is a struggle down there sometimes. Even though we're out there having a good time, it gets hard sometimes. The sun gets hot. I think I got a little bit sunburnt this day. Felicia got a little bit sunburnt. We both took on a little bit of red color, and hopefully that'll turn into a nice little tan later. We'll see. I don't know. I don't tan too well. I just turn red. But that's part of the process, baby. So now I'm back at that water weed again, trying to keep that chopped down as much as possible. And it's not been too bad so far. It comes up a little bit quick, but you know, I chop it down quicker and it comes up. I pull the roots out, do whatever we have to. And now I need to make more mulch, because we used the mulch. We used the last mulch that we made on the first row of tomatoes, and I have more tomatoes to put mulch around. We have a lot of trees to remove, so right now the task is tree removal. And Felicia's out there walking black-bearded cocks around. And for all of you that don't know, and in case you don't know, black-bearded cocks is our rescued kitten from the island of Ocracoke, off the coast of the Outer Banks of North Carolina. I will post a video at the end of this video of that entire adventure that we had to Ocracoke Island. It was a pretty amazing adventure, and we rescued Blackbeard Cox. And the reason that we named him Blackbeard is because the pirate Blackbeard was captured on that island. So it's a pretty neat story. You can check out our adventure at the end of this, but we're going to continue processing these trees. That way I can take them home and put them in the wood chipper and make some new mulch. So, yeah, can you dig it? Now we are laying out cardboard to mark the rows for our cabbage and cauliflower. That's the last two crops that we have as plants to put into the brassica patch. This is block 4 that we're working in, and there are the 4 patches. We're just going to go through here and do a little bit of weeding while we're in this patch already. Do a little bit of maintenance and care, pull some water weeds out, check on our plants. We're going to lay a little bit more cardboard in between the rows. First I'm going to rake back the rocks and the debris, level out the playing field, and then we're going to lay the cardboard. We normally just tuck the pieces of cardboard underneath, and I can't repeat this enough. The cardboard is going to do amazing things for the soil. It's going to add food for the worms. It's going to keep the soil from drying out. It's going to keep the plants weed free. Not completely weed free, but it's going to be a lot less weeding for us. and it's going to make it easier in the long run. And we're just going to lay out the opposite side. That way when we stretch out the line, we can match up the cardboard and put in the last 4 rows of the brassica plants. Now we're marking out the 4th and final row for tomato stakes. I'm so happy that I don't have to pound another one of these green T-posts in the ground this year, at least for gardening purposes. This makes a total of 55 green T-posts that I've put in this year. I've done 11 of those a day for 5 different days. That's about as much as I could handle. It gets a little bit much pounding these things in, but I'm glad that the last ones are going in to their forever home for the year. And it's pretty exciting because we have our rows marked out for tomatoes. And after we put these tomatoes in, we're going to go past this and put a couple rows of peppers and add some potatoes in. We already have 2 rows of the tomatoes planted in this patch. This is the second plot, or plot 2, block 2, nightshade, which includes your peppers and tomatoes and potatoes. And the last stake has went into the ground. Super excited. I'm going to be glad to get in here and plant some more of this week. We have a lot of projects coming up, major projects, and it's just the beginning. We have a pretty good amount of our planting done. I would say that 50% of the planting is done, but 80% of the labor and prepping for planting is done. There's still quite a bit more to do. We still have irrigation to run, which that's going to be a whole nother exciting project. And this is going to be our water source. It has some beautiful mountain water coming out here. We're going to drip feed all of our plants. We're going to do a gravity fed irrigation system. And I'm going to show you later on how to reduce your water pipe and all of that to extend the pressure and to get better pressure. And now we're back at home. We're going to take all of those sticks and trees that we processed earlier in the day, and we're going to turn them into mulch. That way we can use them in the garden to help put organic matter back into the soil, to help feed our worms, to help do all these numbers of things. It's about building this ecological system that is sustainable and is going to be beneficial to the entire area. We're trying to go as close as we can to organic standards. We don't use any kind of chemicals or harmful fertilizers or anything like that. All the products that we use are held up to organic standards, and we try to use the best practices that we can, because this food that we're growing, we're going to be putting back into our body, and we certainly don't want to be putting anything in there that is going to compromise our immune systems or compromise the environment. I think that people are becoming more aware about what they're consuming, and for me especially, that's why this is important, because I'm becoming self-aware of what I'm putting into my body, and if I can help some people out along the way with education and sharing information that I'm learning, I'm more than happy to do so. I love to share information. I love creating these videos and this content. I think that it's helpful for those who haven't been through it. I get to share some of my hardships and struggles and experiences and knowledge all at the same time, and it's really been a fun journey for me. I'm glad that you all are enjoying this and checking it out. There are plenty of other videos. You can see where we got to this point and how we got to this point, at least for these few projects. And it's been a great ride. We're going to go now and do a little bit of watering some of the plants around the house. I'm going to dip you inside of the grow house a little bit here, and that's what's coming up next week. We're going to be doing some planting in block 5 with all these squashes. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you for checking out the video. Make sure you go and hit that like button down below. Go on and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell for new content. And until next time, can you dig it?